Although they were the last to participate, schools in Hawaii made sure their voices were heard and their concerns duly noted. For more, here is our young ABC Hawaii correspondent Arthur Joseph.
Minutes out of their otherwise busy day. Mililani High School in Central Oahu was just one of the numerous public and private schools throughout the Aloha State to take part in the nationwide school walkout in memory of those who lost their lives in the school shooting incident that took place in South Florida last February. Students and faculty spent a few minutes out of their otherwise busy day to gather together to show their solidarity and gun violence in schools once and for all.
One thing they might be doing is increasing gun control, which I believe, which restriction laws such as the prohibition has shown that only makes things much worse. Otherwise, I don't know.
Do you think like teachers and school faculty should be allowed to have firearms?
Yes. Of course, with all the proper registrations and background checks and all that.
Do you think the federal and local governments are doing enough to reduce or prevent gun violence?
No, I don't think we're doing enough. I think that we need to start doing more, definitely. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, stricter background checks, banning bump stocks and doing a whole bunch of things that we can do to affect good and meaningful change that we do need in our country.
Do you think teachers and faculty members of school should allow firearms?
Personally, I do not believe that teachers should be armed with weapons, but that's obviously opinions that other people have, and other people are free and open in a free, an open democracy like ours to have their own opinion. But I myself do not agree with that position, and it does not make sense, in my opinion, to arm teachers. I think, Governor, I would say that continue to do all the work that you possibly can to make sure that our state stays safe and that we do not have senseless killings like the ones that have happened in other parts of the nation. But continue to do all the hard work that you're doing and continue to stop these kinds of things from happening in our beautiful state.
Even colleges and universities held similar events, like this one at Leeward Community College, Pearl City.
First and foremost, it's awareness to our students. We have a little bit different culture here. It's a culture of a little bit, we have the spirit of aloha, but it's also important that our students are aware of what's happening and that they respond to the situations around them.
Do you think the federal or local governments are doing enough to reduce or prevent gun violence?
No, the fact that we continue to have this gun violence, it's not enough. And I'm glad to see the young people speaking up and demanding that there be change.
I was just sharing my class that I'm from Singapore and I'm an immigrant, and we don't have freedom of speech in my country, and I think it's really important for the future of our generation to recognize that voices matter, that representation matters, that we matter, that it may seem like a small insignificant step, but I think that with little changes every day, I think movements are made out of waves. I haven't seen an ocean that is ever still. An ocean is made out of waves, and I think what we're doing is a wave that will lead to a movement, and movements need to change, and I think that that's really important that we do this all the time, because enough is enough, and people do need to speak up because our bodies matter and our voices matter.
Do you think the federal or local governments are doing enough to reduce or prevent gun violence?
I can't speak for the federal government only because I haven't been here for long enough, but what I can say from what I've seen on the news is that I think it is such a partisan view that people are so separated on gun ownership, and I think we're missing the core, which is that the schools should be safe, regardless of where people are on gun ownership. I think that the fundamental question is that how are we keeping our youth safe, how are we keeping our children safe, and that schools should primarily be a safe haven. It shouldn't be a place where we're promoting violence. Neither are we promoting teachers to own guns, because I don't think teachers are here to preach violence or to use violence as a source of retaliation. It should be a place where it's a gun-free zone, it's a safe zone, and I think that's what I advocate for, that education should be safe for all. It shouldn't be a partisan issue.
Should the state allow teachers or professors to be trained on and carry weapons such as pistols or tasers for self-defense?
I think that is symptomatic of a bigger problem. If we allow teachers and educators to own guns, then we are saying that we are perpetuating this notion of violence in our society. And I primarily don't think that that is a role of teachers and educators to be part of a violent movement. I think that by doing so, it is a very short-sighted move to just simply treat the symptom. Oh, there's violence, let's have more violence. I personally don't believe that. I don't think any good can come up with violence, especially not in a school scenario where what we really want to do is to teach and share with all our youth and future to believe in solidarity, to believe in peaceful democracy, to understand that even if we do fight, we don't always need to bear arms, that we can at least have a conversation, at least in a school. So I truly think that that would not be right, to get teachers and educators to be armed.
If you had the chance to speak directly to the president, governor, or any lawmaker, what would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them that primarily the role of an educator, the reason why I chose to be an educator is because educators educate. And education means it comes with wisdom and compassion, and violence is not the way to solve matters. I understand there is an arena where violence can be necessary, but definitely not an education setting, because here we are grooming people and grooming the future generation to think with their hearts, their minds, and their soul, and not just always take arms and bear arms. There is a time and place for that, but I definitely don't think that this is what we need to start at a young age for students, and definitely not for young leaders as they're in school thinking that the only way to solve a gun problem or violent problem is to become more violent.
Reporting from Hawaii, this is Arthur Joseph for Eagle News. 5.